can't see. I hope you can. Egg whites, my hair, chia seed. Welcome to car life. Y'all hear the birds? This is egg whites. Raw egg whites. Hair. Raw egg whites and protein. Oh, God. I thought I'd be sorer than what I am. So, I have a workout plan today. I'm doing something extreme. Pretty freaking extreme. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, but you'll see. You'll see if I make it. But I'm gonna film it. I'm going on an adventure today, a fitness adventure. It's a high intensity sport that I'm gonna be doing. We'll see if I make it. We'll see. I really need this because I'm gonna need this to get through. I'm gonna need this for endurance, okay? I'm scared. The last time I done this though, it was about 5 years ago. And I was, I don't know, 160 pounds, 170 pounds. So if I did it back then, I should be fine today and I should excel in this workout. It's actually like I can't give too much away because I have stalkers. So if I even mention what it is, they're going to know exactly where I'm going. So anyways, it's a high endurance sport activity, but it's like I got to reach the finish line. I mean, I don't have to. I guess I can turn around and embarrass myself, but I would like to make it to the finish of this event. I'm speaking in code right now so much. If you can understand Brooke's coded, if you can decipher my code, sorry. Thank the stalkers. Egg whites. It's okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. Hey, Jamama. Yeah, it's sad that I can't even. Ain't that sad that I can't even tell y'all what I'm doing because stalkers will know where I'm at? But I'm not being stalked. Cheers. It's cold. I wish. I do like riding the bulls at the rodeos. It's so much fun. They had one of the fake bulls, and not a real bull, of course, but they had one of them bulls in Georgia. It was so much fun. I think I also got on one in South Carolina somewhere. I can stay on for a good little minute. It's always so much fun. And then when they see that you got a little bit of skill, then they let loose on that thing. Like the conductor of the ride, if you can hold on, then he gets real rough with it. It was a lot of fun. It's been a while since I've done that. It's like, oh, you think you got that? And then he goes ham and throws you off. It's like a little stick shift knob Where is some water? Ugh. Every morning. Every morning. I might as well just get out and throw a case in here every morning. Here, these should last me till 10 a.m. The amount of water. I feel like shit when I don't drink it though. That's the crazy thing about doing things the right way. Once you start doing it the right way, you'll never be able to go back to the other way. You know, when I was growing up in school, they taught food and nutrition in school, and I'm so grateful for that. I remember the food pyramid. I remember talking about healthy fats, bad fats. I remember talking about carbs. I remember talking about vegetables and, like, you know, healthy meats or like non-processed meats, whole meats. I'm so grateful for that. So grateful. Yeah, so grateful. You best believe they don't teach that shit no more. Hell, they don't even teach them how to read and write. Why would they teach them how to take care of themselves? They're trying to raise good little workers, not train people to take care of themselves. They're trying to make more sheep, more little rats to put in the rat race. They don't want people to know how to take care of themselves. They need them sick and relying upon Big Farm. It's all one big circle jerk of damn scams. And it starts with the government. It starts with the education system. Bring back home ec. I'm gonna start a petition. That's where I learned about it at, was in home ec. Well, you know, it might have been PE. It might have been physical education. Sorry. I had to figure out what the P and the E was for. It might have been physical education that we learned about the food pyramid. All right, that's good enough. God knows I'm full now. I gotta change. Hey, Miss Woods. I hope you're doing well. What? Y'all. That shit everywhere. It's too early. God, I feel full. Oh. Oh. A charging bull. An actual, like a real bull. I've never had an interaction like that, thank God. Not yet, anyways. God, I'm full. That made me really full really quick. I wasn't even hungry, but I know I need to eat. I didn't even eat dinner last night. I mean, I guess we had a salad at like 4 o'clock. We had that chicken salad. What else did we eat yesterday? Half a chicken biscuit. What else? Oh, I had an egg white protein for breakfast. That's probably why we didn't eat much yesterday. That's like 55 grams of freaking protein. Something like that. Well, it's probably different now because of the damn, give me this. Because the protein's different than last time. Where's the protein? Oh, there it is, 30 grams. So 30 plus 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 35, 40. So it was 40, 40, 40 plus 30. That's 70. Did I do that right? What is wrong with me this morning? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So it's 40 from that, and then 30 from this. So that's 70. You probably shouldn't do that. Don't do what I do. You might end up dead. I'm fast tracking shit. Oh, I gotta let that settle for a minute. Oh, what's going on in the world? Is everything okay? Oh, is everything okay? Y'all. Oh, God, these comments. Oh, my God, y'all. Y'all remember me telling you about that guy that, like, shot 11 people, the kid that was 20 years old yesterday, and he shot a bunch of people? How about people are pissed that the judge let him out and they revoked his bond last night? What are the chances that I talk about a case and then I'm like, this is wrong, you guys. This is so wrong. Why is he out of jail? And then they revoke his bond. So listen, this little shithead, he's 20 years old. He shot up a house party. Okay, 12 people were injured and one person died. And they gave him a $200,000 bond here in the state of North Carolina. As I've been trying to explain to people, this is a liberal state. I know y'all don't want to admit it. Things like this don't happen in Republican states when it comes to letting a murderer out of jail on bond. They would have never done that in Florida. They would have had him under no bond indefinitely until he went to trial. But I digress. It's not a liberal state. It's a swing state with liberal ways. He shot up a house party. He killed a guy. He injured 11 others. There was tons of people at this party. So just imagine shots start firing off and people start running. People are getting hit by bullets. It was, how many bullets was it? I said it yesterday. Was it hundreds of rounds? I think it was hundreds of rounds. Listen, regardless, he killed people. Killed one guy, injured others. They gave him a $200,000 bond. You can take one look at him and see that he's a threat to society. He's 20 years old. He's already shot up. He's already completed a mass shooting once. Why are we giving him a $200,000 bond? He made bond right after his bond hearing. He made bond in like 30 minutes, homie. He was out of there. Now they put him on house arrest, which I don't agree with. How many times have they let these killers out of jail and then they go home and they cut off their ankle monitor? How many times? Rapists too. Yeah. They'll get caught for raping one woman. They'll break into her house, assault her. They'll give them an ankle monitor, and then little crazy Kevin is back out here on the streets the next day with an ankle monitor on, raping another woman. Time and time again, these things happen. So the public was outraged. Good. I hope it came from me talking about it. North Carolinians were outraged that they let this little prick out of jail. And so they revoked his bond. It's just, who thought this was a good idea? Because whoever that was needs to be fired. We need to prevent this from happening again. So whoever let this little shit out of jail on a $200,000 bond after he murdered one person and almost 11 others, they should be indefinitely suspended and terminated their license jank. I don't know what needs to happen, but something needs to happen to prevent this from happening again. It's crazy. If that was you or I and we were trespassing, we'd be in jail for a $25,000 bond for trespassing, bitch. Which is a misdemeanor minor offense for those who do not know. It's literally one of the most pettiest things that you can get in trouble for. But you see my point. That's a real number. That's what my bond was when I got spit on. Oh, God. Can't make this shit up. He was in the news this morning. Yeah, that was, I screenshotted that last night. I was laying in bed, and I was like, no way, they're revoking his bond. I was like, okay. So I ain't thought, at least, listen, it gave me a sense of closeness to somebody who, I don't know. I just felt not alone. I was like, okay, so I'm not losing my mind. This was wrong. He should be behind bars. He should have never been let out. He shot 12 people and killed one of them. Okay, I'm not tripping. I felt a sense of, okay, I'm not losing my mind. There are people that think like me. There are people that are still rational. There are people that still have common sense. You know what I mean? Because I'm terrified 99.9% of the time out here. I don't know what these people are doing. And that's why I stay far, far away from them. Far, 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 Forrest. Far. You know? You have to, because they're literally crazy. And then, what if you were shot at this party? Think about that. Let's say you were shot at this party. You're rushed to the ER. They get the bullets out of you. I'm sorry. It sounds, this is how I handle trauma, okay? I laugh about it. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. It really ain't. They get the bullets out of you. They give you a couple bags of blood, keep you in the hospital for 2 days, and then you hear that this little fucker is going to have his court appearance. So you said, I'm going to go. I'm going to roll my ass in there. And, you know, because, you know, you were shot in the feet, of course, hopefully. So you'll be fine. But for now, you can't use your legs. So you got to roll up in court, and you get in front of this judge who is letting this bastard out of jail. Imagine how much fear you would have as a victim, knowing that this bastard is back out on the street. And you're the victim, and you're not getting any justice. He's not getting any punishment. Going to jail for a day or two and then making bond is not punishment for what he did. And he's absolutely a flight risk. His age, those neck tattoos, his previous behavior. Where did he get $200,000 from? The money? He's a flight risk. You know? Like, and he probably has priors. Acting like that. I'm telling you, you don't wake up one morning and commit a mass shooting. You either planned it or you had behavior that was leading towards that action somewhere in the past. He's probably been a hellion for years. He just looks like he has no parental guidance. That's all I'm saying, okay? I'm not saying neck tattoos mean that you're a criminal. My son's father has got neck tattoos everywhere. He's a good man. But it's different when you got neck tattoos standing in front of a judge. That kind of means something. If you simply just have neck tattoos out in public, that's different. Way different. Y'all want to hear something crazy? I bet you his grandma's been raising him for the past damn forever. And she's the one that got him out. I just got this feeling, and I don't even know, but I got this feeling. Pawpaw ain't gonna do no shit like that. Pawpaw gonna leave your ass sitting up in the jailhouse, but you know who will come and get you? Mama. I don't know. We'll see. Does he have parents? I don't know. I just got this feeling that something ain't right with that kid. Like, you know, like there's a family history there as to what led to this, because these things matter. Statistically speaking. So I don't know. I just think that I'm proud of North Carolinians for being outraged. You should be. He should have never been released from jail. And y'all need to take that as a sign. That's just the one you know about, honey. That's just the one y'all know about. There's thousands of those cases, thousands of rapists, murderers, child beaters, child abusers that they let out of jail every day in this state. This is what I was talking about when I said that it's a liberal state. There's not going to be justice in North Carolina if they keep on. So good for being outraged about the one publicized mass shooting. But I can assure you that this has been going on for 4 years, and it's only going to get worse. There's no justice in the justice system in liberal states anymore. This actually started in 2019. I was on felony probation for possession of heroin, and I violated probation. I could not pass a drug test, so I was going to go to jail. I was going to go to prison, because that's what happens. When you fail a drug test, they activate your sentence. Your suspended sentence is activated, and you go to the Department of Corrections. I walked into a courtroom in High Point, North Carolina, which is part of Guilford County, and there was a few hundred people, 200 to 400 people in there on the docket. I mean, it was hundreds of people, maybe 200 to 300. It was hundreds of people on the docket. All of them were in violation of felony probation. These are killers who had gotten caught with firearms after being released from prison, drug dealers that were caught with massive amounts of drugs, busted yet again for trafficking. There was people, mostly gun charges and felony probation for violence charges. These are violent offenders. Violent offenders. We were all in violation of probation. All of us were supposed to be shipped to some sort of DOC facility that day. This was in 2019. I walked into court. The judge stood up and said, "Merry Christmas. Everybody's off of felony probation." That was the start. That was 2019. They don't have anywhere to put them. They don't have enough officers to look after them. Hell, they don't even have enough damn officers in the jail. There's supposed to be a safety ratio of officer, CO to inmate, and they don't have that. They haven't had that in years. So instead of locking criminals up in the state of North Carolina, they're just letting them go because they ain't got nowhere to put them. Not only that, they've got this leftist BS that's seeped into our court system here where they think everybody's a fucking victim and that makes them behave the way that they do. Excuse me. Never have I ever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would never do the shit that people do and then they say, "Oh, well, I had a hard life." Like, whatever. Whatever. Just because somebody does something to you doesn't mean that you should go and be the same kind of evil. Good morning. Oh, I gotta get my shorts. I gotta change. Oh. I'm so excited for today's adventure. I really am. I just hope that I can do it. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to, but I'm still just like, it's about endurance. It's about endurance. Am I gonna make it? Oh, ouch. Oh, damn zipper. Yeah, this easy justice, or like this light-handed justice system, it's only going to make the criminal problems worse. We should take a note from New York, you know? You know? No, they don't know, Brooke. They don't. Not you, the state, the people that are running the state, Congress, or, you know, the representatives and stuff of the state, the governor is a piece of shit. Everybody they got in power is a piece of shit here. They've been doing it wrong for so long. It's gone. It's gone. North Carolina will never be what it used to be. It's ruined. You ruined it. So what happened back in COVID days? When COVID happened, all these northerners from New York, New Jersey, you name it, just anywhere up there, Connecticut, Maryland, Michigan, we saw a huge influx of transplants move out of those states from 2020. Still, even now, there's people still moving down here. I mean, I'm talking, I would be willing to bet if it wasn't, 100,000 people, probably more than that. Let's see. It changed the dynamics of the state, and it's never been right since. How many northerners moved to North Carolina during 2020? Nearly 366,000. My math was off by like 266,000. Hey, thank you, Ben. I hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. We're going to kick ass and take names. Yes, they are, Tiffany. Thank you. They are still looking for 2 little turd heads that also helped that kid in that shooting. Thank you so much, Ben. So, it's more than that. While it's not possible to determine the exact number of northerners who moved to North Carolina in 2020, data suggests a significant net gain in population due to migration, including those from other states. It looks like North Carolina experienced a net gain of 573,000 people. That's over 500,000 people. Between April 2020 and July of 24. With a 95% population growth attributed to net migration. But right here, it says North Carolina experienced a significant net gain of 573,000 people due to migration. Well, that would also be like the northerners. Hold on, here we go. Here's the census. This is through the census. Carolina demographic. Jesus, y'all, it's more than that. I get so frustrated with these numbers. Listen to this. Just listen. So that one report, Google says that between 2020 and 2024, there was over 573,000 people that moved here. But listen to this. It's got to be more than that. Nearly 366,000 individuals moved to North Carolina in 2021. Hold on, what? According to the U.S. Census Bureau American Community Survey. Oh, shit. Most of these individuals, 324,500, or 89%, of all in migrants moved to North Carolina from another state. Note, this also includes almost 1,000 migrants from Puerto Rico. The top states were Florida, New York, Virginia, South Carolina, and California. I don't understand. I mean, I do, but like, they're not being clear, and that's how lies are formed. That's how lies are formed. That's how they get by with lying to us. It's because nobody's clear. And the media is in on it. According to the estimate, no one moved to North Carolina from Nebraska in 2021. Why not? Ain't that like a really I think they got a lot of land. So this was just in 2021. Listen to this. The remaining 11% of in-migrants to North Carolina moved here from another country. Top countries in 2021, Mexico, what did I tell you? Hotspot. Honduras, India, South Korea, and China. And I bet it's higher than 10, 11%. It has to be. If you go to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, you will fucking see for yourself. You ain't even got to get out the car. Just drive down the fucking road. There's no way that it's 10% or 11%. And that was just for one year. You can't ever get clear numbers anymore. That's another thing that's been lost. I need to put this up. I have on a patch. It's going to give me a headache. It's going to give me a headache. Thank you again, Ben. Just getting off work. It's always a good day. Third shift. That's rough. That can take a toll. Make sure you get sleep. Lots of sleep. Lots of sleep. Over the last decade, North Carolina added roughly 1.1 million people. How is that possible? Okay, let's think about this. Let's do some basic math. I know I'm not good at it. It's saying that over the past decade, we've gained 1.1 million people. But just in the past 4 years, we had almost 600,000, and I don't believe that number to be true. Now that I know how large it is, I realize that it's probably larger than that. They lie about everything. They doctor the numbers on everything, in my opinion. How are we at 1.1 in the past decade if just in the past 4 years we've took on almost 600,000? Doesn't make sense. It never makes sense. This is the fourth largest gain among the states, adding more people to the state than Michigan, New Jersey, Ohio, and Virginia combined. Only Texas and Florida and California surpassed North Carolina's population growth. It's literally like apparently the fastest growing fucking state. What shit shows are going to happen here? I don't know. I'm not sticking around to see. I don't have time for this buffoonery. The growth propelled North Carolina to the ninth most populous in the nation in the past decade, with a population nearing 10 million in 2020. Hold that. What's the population of North Carolina in 2025? 10.9. It's saying 10.9 still. And look, it's only going to grow to 11.7% by 2030. So think about how fast all of those people came here and what that does to an economy. If they're expecting this 10.9 million to grow to 11.7 million, which is not even a full million, if they're expecting that to happen by 2030, that means that we're only taking in maybe, 100,000 or so, maybe 150 to 200,000 every year to 2 years. It doesn't make sense. The numbers don't make sense to me, y'all. And maybe it's just that I'm bad with math. It just doesn't make sense. It never does. At this rate, by 2030, we'll be, sure, we don't have any more coming over the border, but at this rate, with everybody moving here like they are, thinking that it's a cheaper place to live, and which, by the way, this is why everything is going up. This is why your rent's going up. This is why gas is getting more expensive. This is why groceries are getting more expensive, because there's more people. The bigger it gets, the more popular it gets, the more expensive everything's going to get, to the point to where nobody will be able to afford to live here. That's what's been going on for 20 years. So the 2008 recession put shit into motion here, and then this silent recession, I mean, we got 370,000 people from up north. So, and that's already affected rent prices here massively, and gas, and food, insurance, childcare. Yeah, you know, This is a melting pot for people, you know. I guess this is a melting pot for people. It's a little different than Florida. See, Florida is a melting pot for people that have sense. I'm not trying to be funny. It's just different. It's different. I just get along with them nice Republican people much better than I do all the crazy liberals that are letting murderers out of jail. That's another thing. Why would I want to be in a state that arrests me twice for crimes I did not commit? I've never been in any kind of legal trouble anywhere else in my life. Not once. I've traveled all over the place. California, Colorado. Never had a problem. Just my hometown and my home state. Very interesting. Why would I want to be up here and worry that somebody can call the law on me, lie on me, which happened last October? Why would I want to be in a situation where someone can lie on me and then I go to jail and lose everything, like last October? At least in Florida, I know the fucking cops will hear me out before they take me to jail. At least in Florida, I know they're going to do a proper investigation before they take me to jail. At least in Florida, I can count on them going to pull surveillance footage and doing their fucking job. You don't get that in the state of North Carolina. Due process, my ass. Proper police investigation. What's that? We're too busy at the office fucking eating. Makes me so angry. I just want y'all to know, though, his name is Gordon Killian. His last name literally says Killian. It's Killian, Killian. Listen, that's the kid that shot 11 people over the weekend and they let out. He killed somebody. He shot 12 people. One of them died. And they let him out on a $200,000 bond. I called a misdemeanor charge. I had someone spit on me. They called the law and said that I spit on them. I got a misdemeanor charge and my bond was $25,000. And I was innocent. It took me 3 months to get my name cleared. It's just crazy. It's just unbelievable. Who was the guy that shot up the house and killed a guy from the Charlotte area? Hickory. Killing? I need some water. Where'd that water go? Yeah, don't be surprised when this stuff starts happening more because they're not punishing people. Only innocent people. North Carolina local law enforcement expressed frustration on Wednesday that a man charged in connection with last weekend's shooting at a house party that left one person dead and 11 others injured had been out of jail for unrelated charges logged against him in April. Garen Nathaniel Killian, Killian, 20, of Lenore, was arrested Tuesday and accused of one count. He was charged with one count of attempted first-degree murder related to the shooting in a residential neighborhood about 7 miles south of Hickory. He remained in the jail after a hearing Wednesday before a district judge who said he could be released awaiting trial if a $200,000 bond was posted. By late Wednesday, authorities announced that they were seeking to apprehend 2 additional suspects, each wanted on a charge of attempted first-degree murder, and 2 other men each faced 3 counts of helping someone under the age. And they gave alcohol to underage people under 21. And it's my belief that they were charged with this to try to get information on this case. This is a mass shooting. They don't give a fuck about who was underage drinking at this point. That's not their job. I mean, they'll use it to their advantage to get one of these little shitheads to roll on the other little shitheads. Because, you know, these guys are young. So the two guys that were given, the two men each face 3 counts of allowing the possession of alcohol to someone underage. They're trying to get information. I hope the charges stick on all, but this is a game that they do. They're trying to get them to roll. A previous Hickory Police Department press release said that Killen and another young man had been charged with several counts, including attempted first-degree murder and assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill for an April 6th altercation in a parking lot that led to shots being fired into a crowd. No one was injured. So what did I say? I said, I bet he has a history of bad behavior. Ding, 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 ding. How did I know? Because we don't just go off and commit mass shootings. Like, this is a slow progression towards this type of behavior. So he had already been charged with firing off shots into a crowd of people. And luckily, that time, nobody was shot. And then this time, he's at a house party with hundreds of people and starts dropping people. The Charlotte Observer, citing court records, said that he had been free on a $100,000 bond. So he committed the first mass shooting. Nobody was hurt. He got a $100,000 bond. Then he's out on bond for that and commits another mass shooting where one guy dies and 11 other people are injured. He goes in front of a judge and the judge says, yeah, let's give him a $200,000 bond, even after prosecutors were saying we do not want bond for him. So this is a liberal fucking judge. Ain't no Republican gonna be acting like that. Nope. This is a liberal fucking judge. I'd love to know. You know, it's so funny that, oh, what's his name? What is the judge's name? Hold on, let me see if I can find the judge's name. I want to know where he comes from because he ain't from here. Who's the judge on the killing case in... He's from Lenore. It's not Hickory. Is it Charlotte? No. I get so sick of Google, y'all. You can't never find shit. Here we go. I got it. Judge Mark. What? They have the same fucking last name. He has the same last name as the killer. Mark Killigan granted Garen Killigan a $200,000 bond. Hold on. What are the chances? Hold on. Let's look into this guy. Is he from... He's a Charlotte judge. All right. Charlotte Judge Mark Killigan. Oh, hold on. There it is. Mark Killian. I can't say it. Nope. Go back. So he's a district court judge serving in the 25 Judicial District in North Carolina. Hold on. It's not wanting to give me nothing about him. Here we go. I found his business page, I think. No picture. Of course not. Mark L. Killian. Yep, this is him. So, Mark L. Killian is a district court judge for the 25 Judicial District, which presides over Burke, Cadwell, and Catawba. I can't say it. Catawba? Catawba. I think that's it. And that's where the shooting took place, was Catawba. You would think my you would think my Cherokee heritage would help me speak these words, but unfortunately, Catawba, that's where the shooting happened. So this is it. He was appointed by the former governor, Bev Perdue, in 2012 to fill the vacancy created by C. Thomas Edwards' elevation to the Superior Court. He was reelected in 2014, winning a term that expired in December of 2018. Oh, not good at all. For those that don't know, Bev Perdue is a horrible person. It all makes sense. You see how these things start to come down the pipeline? I mean, this is Bev Perdue. She ruined this state. This is where the bullshit really starts. I mean, the new governor, Roy Cooper, he was never any better. But she was a Democrat. She was the first female governor of North Carolina ever. She was guess when she was the governor? 2009. When all of the bullshit started. Books stopped going to shelves. Books stopped being created. New policies that were leftist propaganda started being created. We see the LGBT movement really take off around the same time. In my opinion, right after the 2008 recession, that is when we started to take a down, Obama. That's when we started to take a nosedive, baby. That's when the plane caught fire, okay? The engine gave out and shit started to spin. And we were just barreling towards the ground. 2009. So she got her start in the House of Representatives. I bet she did. We all know. If you don't know, go back and watch some of my old content. Y'all, I know this is on both sides. We got to talk about Elon Musk and Trump in it. Don't let me forget. I know there's evil on both sides, but I could never be on the left ever again. It's so much worse over there. So let's see here. What did she do? She first served 5 terms at the North Carolina Senate. It's so weird because I'm looking at her history and it doesn't have anything about anything she accomplished. Not one thing. I mean, it doesn't even give me what she did while she was in office. It tells me nothing. Her candidacy, she raised $15 million to run. She got endorsed by major newspapers, but it's not telling me what she did during her career working here in North Carolina. Governor of North Carolina. Is this it? Political positions. Maybe. I hope. She vetoed a bill that would have required voters to show photo ID before casting their ballots. Interesting. She vetoed a bill that would have allowed fracking in North Carolina. The veto was overridden in July of 2012. Perdue signed Susie's Law in 2010, which authorized up to 10 months in jail for convicted perpetrators of animal cruelty to animals. Some of y'all might say, oh, that's so sweet. She was looking out for the animals. But I'm sitting over here like, what about the 370,000 kids we have in the foster care system? You should be working on the foster care system. What about all of the children that don't know how to read or write? You need to be working on the education system. See, y'all need to, some people please start to learn how to read through the bullshit. We have major problems on our fucking hands. We have since 2009 when little Miss Susie over here was in fucking office and she did nothing. I'm reading it. She literally did nothing. She introduced the idea of spending the, on September 27th of 2011, Purdue introduced the idea of suspending the congressional elections. She told the Cary Rotary Club, quote, you have to have more ability from Congress, I think, to work together and to get over the partisan bickering and focusing on fixing things. Oh, that's a lot coming from you, girl. Fixing things? How many years was she down? Oh, she said some controversial shit when she was going through her candidacy too, talking about the people that were going to vote for her. Hold on, I don't remember this. Governor Perdue oversaw the state's preparation in response to Hurricane Irene in 2011. It was seen by some political observers as a defining moment of her tenure. Does anybody remember that? I don't. I don't remember that. North Carolina's Republican-controlled Senate removed such compensation for sterilization victims from the state's budget that the General Assembly passed, overriding the governor's veto. So there was women that needed to be compensated because they were what? Eugenics. Remember, we've talked about eugenics on this channel before. This is where they were taking unwed mothers, they were using them as guinea pigs, or they were taking mental health people who were having mental health problems. They were taking them and they were sterilizing them. They would rip their uteruses out. Listen to what I'm telling you. The government did this in the state of North Carolina for decades. And so these women that were victims of this have every right to be compensated. And this dumb bitch vetoed. She said, no, they don't need to be compensated. 1 minute she says that they should, and then the next minute she vetoed it. Yeah, she cares about women and children, all right. Hold on. The Wilmington 10. What is that? The Wilmington 10 were 9 young men and a woman who were wrongfully convicted in 1971. They were sentenced to 29 years in prison. All 10 served nearly a decade in jail before an appeal won their release. What were they accused of? Arson. So they were accused of burning down a grocery store. It's a firebombing of Mike's Grocery. So it looks like she pardoned them. And that was it. That was it. You can go see it for Wiki, for yourself on Wiki. That was it. That was her whole career. That's all she did for the state of North Carolina. And then it was Roy Cooper, and it's never been the same since. And look at it, just taking a nosedive every year. It just gets worse and worse here. And it will. It will. And it'll continue to get worse. And then it'll look like New York one day. It's It's sad. It's really sad to see my home state turn into a pile of shit. But it looks like it's been a long time coming, and it probably started with Bev Perdue. At least that's as far as I can trace it back as of now, you know. So we currently have a Democratic governor who's ruined this state. He's done nothing good for this state. I know that people want to not, you know, people don't know how to read through the lines like I do. They don't understand how these political things work. These people will do things just to say that they did something, just so you like them. And it's not even really how they align. So it's crazy. But that's the name of the game. Y'all, first of all, I didn't think Elon was on drugs. Now I think Elon's on drugs. And listen, y'all already know I felt some type of way about Elon because he's not a conservative person. You are not a conservative with like 17 baby mamas and like 25 kids, homie. And then we know that he likes to party dabble. I don't know. I didn't want to think he was on drugs, but now everything that's happened, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. He's claiming that Trump is in the Epstein files, and that is why they're not released. Because remember, that's what Trump ran on. He said, "Oh, we're going to release the Epstein files. We're going to release the JFK files." Da 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 da. Right? Remember? I remember. I'll never let you forget. And then the file had not been released, and so there was this bill that was drafted, some kind of tax bill, listen, and Elon didn't agree with it. He said this is a huge mistake, and this kicked off a war on social media, and it's like, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Like, I really thought that they had more couth than this. Even Ashley St. Clair, who is Elon Musk new baby mama, even she took to like Truth Social to like shout out Trump, saying, "Oh, see, Trump, look, I told you he was crazy." Essentially, that's not what she said, but it was something like, "Let me know when you need to talk." Like Ashley St. Clair, who in my opinion is probably an escort or a hooker, she shouts out the president saying, "When you get over Elon's shit, come holler at me and we'll have a glass of tea and talk about it," essentially. Elon's over here on X saying that the Epstein files have not been released because Trump's on them and was hanging out with Epstein. You know, what if I want to build a raft and play Tom Hanks and Castaway? What if I am over both parties? What if both of them literally have no class or couth? Both of them have gone insane. Both of them are self-motivated for their own parties. What if both of them are just as evil? Because I think they are. I'm starting to think they are. You know, I had this premonition in January, and here we are, 6 months later, and I'm like 90% sure both sides are completely evil. And crazy. How trashy. How trashy. This whole situation is so trashy. Nobody looks good. Trump looks bad. Elon looks bad. Ashley Sinclair looks bad. If that's even possible. She's a little hottie. Psycho, but hottie. And, you know, everybody just looks like trash right now, if I'm being honest. It's just trashy. I thought they had this wonderful bromance. You know, and then I'm like, well, did Trump not know that Elon was on drugs? And then Elon started working for Doge, moves to Mar-a-Lago, and then he's like all next to the president. And then Trump found out that he was on ketamine and tried to slowly distance himself. And then Elon got bitter and tried to come after him. Well, I can promise you if the ketamine is true, then that's exactly what happened. But we don't know if Elon's on drugs. So is Elon being honest or is Elon on drugs? Listen, I never thought that I would come to a point where I would be sober wondering if the richest man in the world was on drugs. You know what I mean? Like, the roles should be reversed right now, but I digress. I don't know. But if it's true that Elon was doing massive amounts of ketamine and he is addicted to ketamine, or was that what it was? It was something with a K, honey. If it's true, then that's why this is going on. This is his drug problems interfering with everything. But if he's not on drugs, it's still bullshit. Like, damn, you gotta be so damn petty. This is what I'm talking about. I didn't think men act like this, and here these bitches are being bitches. Y'all acting like a bunch of high school girls. He said this, he said that, he did this. Embarrassing. Get it together. Elon and Trump, get it the fucking together. You're embarrassing the whole fucking nation all over the world. God, they found drugs in the White House, and we ain't even made it halfway through damn 2025, and everybody's saying Elon's on drugs. Do you know how bad that looks? They found cocaine in the White House, and here we are doing the same shit that the left was doing, allegedly. In my opinion. Sorry, you're going to make me blush this morning. It's crazy, y'all. I just think, if you got something to say with it, suck my left toe, girl. I just think that they need to be a little more classier and not have these things in the public eye. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if anything's happened this morning, because they fighting like a bunch of bitches. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Stop. Elon. The ugliest things Trump and Musk have said about each other. Listen, I don't need to know. Musk unleashes wild Epstein claim against Trump after being booted from Doge. And you know, they've been saying this stuff for months. They've been saying that they were arguing, that they were squabbling, that there was problems in the White House. Listen, I ignore half of it because I don't trust the media. But this is from Fox, and you know, they're not like the most trustworthy, but over CNN they are. Billionaire Elon Musk dropped a serious bomb on social media on Thursday when he made allegations that President Donald Trump was on the Jeffrey Epstein list. Musk wrote on X, quote, that the real reason they have not been made public, the files, is because Donald Trump is in them. Musk followed the post with another saying, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. So here's his post, and he literally says, time to drop the real big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been public. Have a nice day, Donald J. Trump. So he's definitely mad. Now, because the fact that he says, have a nice day, Donald J. Trump, he was trying to get back at Trump. Like, I feel like Elon's a kid that's mad at his dad right now, you know? Like, I feel like Elon is a kid that is arguing with his dad right now. Trump had to say on Truth Social, I don't mind Elon turning against me, but he should have done so months ago. This is one of the greatest bills ever passed and presented to Congress. It's called the Big Beautiful Bill. Its record cut in expenses $1.6 trillion and the biggest tax cut ever given. If this bill doesn't pass, there will be a 68 tax increase and things far worse than that. The president also said, I did not create this mess. I'm just here to fix it. This puts our country on a path of greatness. Make America great again. Trump lambasted Musk on Thursday afternoon, saying that he asked the former Department of Government Efficiency head to leave. Elon was wearing thin, and I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electronic cars that nobody else wanted, and he just went crazy, Trump said on Truth Social. Now I'm starting to think Elon's on drugs. I'm sorry. I'm starting, listen, I really am. And you know, it's weird because he's been open about substance use and stuff, mushrooms, psychedelics, ecstasy, stuff like that. So I think he might have messed around with the wrong substance and got addicted. And ketamine is one of them. I think that's what it is. He's acting like a drug addict. What drug is Elon Musk on? Ketamine. And Musk has said publicly that he's prescribed ketamine to help him get out of a depressive mind state. Listen, for any of y'all that's had a drug problem, you know it don't work that way. That's how it starts off. You're like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. I'll be fine. I can do it one time. I can do it once a week. That's what he said. He said that he was doing ketamine once a week out of his own mouth publicly. So he said that he was doing it to relieve depression, and he was doing it like every other week or something. Well, anybody that's ever done drugs, you know exactly how you tell yourself, yeah, I'm going to do this on the weekend with my friends. I'm going to do this today, and then I won't do it again ever. And it don't work like that. You have a bad day. You're like, oh, I'm going to do this because I had a bad day. Or you have a good day. That's me. Or you have a good day, and you're like, oh, I'm going to do this because I had a good day. And before you know it, and you just start doing it more often. Once a week turns into twice a week turns into 4 times a week, and before you know it, you're strung the fuck out having to have it every day. I wonder if that's what happened. Let's see how addictive ketamine is. I've never ventured down. I've tried ketamine and heroin by accident. I've talked about that before. That was crazy. Ketamine addiction. Somebody sold me some heroin that had ketamine in it, and I couldn't move for like 10 or 15 minutes. It was an out-of-body experience. I could hear myself thinking, I could think my thoughts, but I could not move my body. Do you know how scary that was? That was one of the things that led to me getting clean. So back in 2023, they wrote an article. Oh, that's what Matthew Perry died on, right? Acute effects of ketamine. Actor Matthew Perry's tragic death from the acute effects of ketamine has raised many questions about how medical experts and people struggling with depression are using ketamine, and whether the aesthetic and psychedelic drug is safe. It's a psychedelic drug? Hold on. Hell no. I gotta be in a controlled environment by myself. No. In addition, ketamine was associated with the death of Elijah McClain. So it looks like they're using it to treat depression because, you know, marijuana wasn't strong enough, apparently. So that's the drug that killed Matthew Perry. Listen to this. Medical examiners in Los Angeles County determined that Matthew Perry died accidentally. For those that don't know, he played on Friends. He was one of the popular stars on Friends. He was the star on Friends. And he died. He died accidentally due to acute effects of ketamine in the heated end of a swimming pool. On October 28th, they found evidence of ketamine in Perry's stomach and said the quantity was similar to an amount that doctors would use during general anesthesia. Jesus Christ. According to the medical examiner's investigation, Perry had been using ketamine in supervised settings to cope with depression and recovery from decades of addiction and struggles. You know, because food and diet don't work. This is crazy. Perry's last known ketamine treatment had taken place a week and a half prior to his death, and the ketamine disappears from the body within hours. So he must have taken a dose on the day he died, and the ketamine caused cardiovascular overstimulation and respiratory depression, according to the medical examiner. The contributing factors in Perry's death include drowning, coronary artery disease, and the effects of buprenorphine. Buprenorphine is Suboxone. Well, it's part of it. Something that's interesting is that he had the same heart problem as George Floyd, coronary artery disease. Very interesting. I've seen so many autopsies over the past 2-3 years. Drug users that use drugs and they have that disease are more likely to die, in my opinion. I see this so much in overdose deaths, that coronary artery disease. It's where their arteries are clogged. So if you already have this going on and then you're overexerting your body, your system with these drugs, in my opinion, it could raise your chances of death, in my opinion. And I'm not a medical professional, but I'm just going off of the autopsies and the fact that the heart is not able to pump blood to itself because of the clogged arteries. And these are suppressants, which slows your breathing, slows your heart rate, which leads to death if it stops. And a lot of people's do. Ketamine is a drug that dates back to the 1960s and has been used for years as a powerful anesthetic. Same thing. It'll take you to a place of anesthesia, honey. Oh my God. First responders or emergency responders sometimes use ketamine because it's generally safe, fast-acting, and the effects of ketamine wear off relatively quickly. For instance, if you get injured skiing and you break your leg, ski patrol responders almost certainly would give you ketamine. People get a little loopy, but ketamine provides good pain relief and generally protects a person's breathing. Generally protects a person's breathing. Over the past 10 years, ketamine has gained traction as both a recreational drug and for people seeking treatment with depression or post-traumatic stress disorder. Let's give psychedelic drugs to people who are coming back from war, that are struggling with PTSD and are triggered massively. Common sense. It's dying. It's dying. I just... Y'all see why I'm angry all the time? Because it just don't make sense and it infuriates me. The last thing I need with CPTSD is fucking psychedelic drugs. That's the last thing that you would give to somebody with post-traumatic stress disorder. You know what you could give them? Marijuana. Marijuana. If you're so desperate to get them hooked on something for medicinal purposes, why not go with God's green plants? Like, it's because it's either more expensive or cheaper than the ketamine. There's a reason. There's a reason, and it probably has to do with money. A variant of the ketamine molecule received FDA approval in 2019 for people with treatment-resistant depression and suicidal thinking. You have got to be kidding me. So we're going... They're giving it to people that have suicidal thoughts. The drug is a nasal spray and requires supervision from medical experts, since people with a history of heart problems can be at risk when they use the drug. But let's give it to them anyways. Even though it causes heart problems and their heart could stop and they could damn die, let's give it to them anyways. This is the only FDA-approved form of ketamine that is authorized for behavioral health purposes. There are other forms of ketamine that can be approved for emergency care and intensive care. Y'all, this shit is blowing my mind right now. I did not know that they were using stuff like this. I did not know. I did not know. I love it. So I just had like somebody come to my channel with a bunch of hate comments and was talking shit, and I had to like block them all. They wait till I go online. They tried to get me this morning too, but I was up before them. Lord. Yeah, so let's see what Elon's doing. Hold on. Listen to this. Listen to this about the ketamine. Listen to this. Does ketamine work for depression? Yes. When used in a safe, supervised setting with medical experts, ketamine seems to help some people who have treatment-resistant depression. Of course, they're going to say that because they want to make money off of you. And there's no one to stop them from lying. No one. The FDA is in on it. But ongoing research is vital. It's not clear how long ketamine works, how many treatments people need, and who's the best candidate. It can also cause scary experiences for some users. You don't think that giving psychedelic drugs to patients who have suicidal tendencies, thoughts, PTSD, and major depression, you don't think that giving them psychedelic drugs would be a scary experience? These people need to be put out of business. Ketamine elevates the blood pressure, and there have been some high-profile deaths related to ketamine. Blood pressure surges with ketamine, and that can set off cardiac arrest. There have also been other deaths related to drowning while a person is disassociating. See, that's the problem. That's the problem. Okay, so now that you say that, they use this drug to disassociate. Now it makes perfect fucking sense why they're pumping this. The level of medical malpractice that has been taking place in this country is unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. And I'm not a doctor. I never went to nursing school, and I'm not very smart. But if I can see it, how does nobody else see it? Ketamine is a dissociate anesthetic and recreational drug. So people use it to escape the realities of their life. Just like heroin, just like crack cocaine, just like methamphetamine. The only difference is that medical professionals have somehow legalized it. And they want to be the one to give it to patients. This is crazy. I don't doubt that he's on it. I don't doubt. I think he's on it. I think he's on it. That's just my opinion. They reported recently that Musk was taking so much ketamine during the last year's presidential campaign, sometimes daily, that he reportedly told people it was causing him bladder problems, a symptom known of chronic ketamine use. Musk reported experience with the drug from a medical to possibly abusive provides a window into ketamine's growing popularity in the United States. Stay off that shit. If you want to be happy, it starts inside. If you're depressed, it's probably coming from what you're eating. Most of the dopamine in your brain is made in the gut, over 50%. So if you're eating shit, that's why your mental health is slipping. Your happy chemicals are made down here. They're made through what you eat. So if your body's not getting the proper nutrition, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, water, then your gut is not going to be making that dopamine like it should be. If you're eating fast food at least once a day, that's why you're not happy. If you're eating fast food once a fucking week, that's why you're not happy. Like, all of these things matter. And I'm not saying there are people that have severe mental health disorders, but most of us, this is coming from somebody, if we changed our diet and exercise, we would notice, I would be willing to bet a 50 to 80% chance in your mood and the way that you overall feel, your energy, and your mental health if you changed your diet and your exercise. Most people are not doing that. Most people are eating shit. Most people are eating out. Most people are not even getting enough water. Most people don't get enough sleep. If you focus on you, you will gain happiness if you focus on you. But you have to be eating the right things, getting enough sleep, drinking the right water, and not doing any drugs. And that includes alcohol. Alcohol is one of the worst drugs on the market. Just because the government says you can don't mean you should. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that a lot of these mental health disorders could be managed with proper food and diet. It's been proven. It's been proven. So I just think that Elon might be on drugs. I think he might be. I do. Absolutely, they make money from selling it. They want to keep us all sick. I gotta go, y'all. I'm going on an adventure. I'm so excited for today. I hope I don't die. I mean, I could. So, so exciting. So exciting. Am I going to make it or am I going to die? We'll see. I'll let you know. We'll talk this afternoon. I love you guys. Y'all be safe. Pray for me because God knows I need it and I'm praying for y'all. Bye, y'all.